problem 1. That's module 5. And the other one is review assignment. That's the, again, module 5. In terms of pages, that's 5-54. That's the review assignment. That video is already uploaded in the announcement section. And the one we're going to work on is case problem 1. That's page 5-55. Right? So let me open up the data file. So the data file we're going to work on is 5-4. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me share my screen. All right, here we go. 5-4, okay. So this is the one. And the actual steps that I'm using, that's again case problem 1. And so we're going to save it as, first of all, EX5 Medicina, right? That's the file name you're going to save it as. And insert your name. So let's do that. I'm going to insert my name here. And also into the header at the top. Okay. All right, so if you recall, hopefully, module 5 is about, actually that's right here. If you can see right here in the table, working with multiple worksheets. Okay, meaning you have 5, 6, whatever number of worksheets, but they have exactly same layout. Only difference is data. And you have the same column, row, and all those, it looks like the same template they're using. So that's where you're going to use it. Then if you have exactly same layout, then you can group them so that all those worksheets work as a single worksheets. Advantage is you can just do it at once rather than doing multiple times. Right? If you have 10 worksheets, have exactly same structure, then you can just group them, then just do it once, meaning just enter only one time, then it apply to rest of the worksheets. So that's the main thing of this module 5. To do that, you need to use what they call 3D reference. Okay, 3D reference is not just like you are using references, but it'll across all those worksheets. So rather than just typing in, so this is the syntax. The sheet's name, exclamation followed by range. Range here is a cell reference, like A1 to A2 or A1 to whatever cell reference. So that's the syntax to use in the formula in terms of 3D reference. So here's the example. Summary is the worksheet's name, the exclamation, then you have a B10, which is the cell reference. So it can be only single cell or a range of cells, like B10 to B20, if you have to use, for example. Okay, so that's the main idea of this module 5. And then you have linking to external workbook, meaning this is not within your workbook. Talk about external files. So assuming you have multiple files, then you can make a link to those, files outside of your file. So they make it a little bit complicated because, there's always chance that you may lose the link if you move your file to other computer or you move to your file to cloud. Then, things can be a little bit messy. So that's why I don't think we're going to get into too much of linking to external file. Just focus on multiple worksheets. And also just talk about creating hyperlinks, just like a link, like HTML or HTTP links within your workbook. So those are the things that we're going to work on this module 5. So case problem 1 has many of those skills that you need to use. So let's take a look. Case problem 1. So make sure you have save the file as a medicina. Then insert your name. Then step 3, ask you to group. Is that right? Yeah, group those multiple sheets. So let's go back to 5.4. Here we go. So you want to group January to June, those 6 worksheets. So I'm going to group them using your keyboard, Shift on your PC. Then until June. So those 6 are grouped. Now, according to the direction, we're going to find the engagement. So the definition of engagement is sum of retweet, likes, mentions, clicks. Okay. By the way, this data set, they're trying to compile the log or data from different social network so that they can record number of retweets, likes, mentions, clicks, so that they can compile into whatever the term they come up with. So engagement is sum of retweets, likes, mentions, and clicks. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. So I'm going to just click I5 equals sum of those 4 cells, right? I'm going to show this a formula view. Then I'm going to just autofill. All right. But I'm going to do a little bit further because other worksheet may have a longer data set, like 11, 12, 13, could be 14. So I don't know how many, but I'll just assume a few more. So I'm going to just drag a little bit further so that I can apply this to other worksheets just in case. All right, what about rate? According to the Against tab, the rate is take engagement that we just calculated and divide engagement by number of followers. So that's the engagement rate definition. So I'm going to take that and divide by number of followers. So it'll give you percentage. Okay. Then I'm going to again just autofill these guys. Okay. The reason I'm doing this, again, if you look at other sheets, like March, see that is go on to row number 13, April 13, May, even 14, so it's go a little bit longer. So that's why I'm doing a little further, even though I'm in January. Okay, so we did that column I and J. I'm going to switch view again. So that's the actual number you're going to get. And those numbers you don't need, or those cells that you don't need, you can just always delete them right here. So those, I guess you can do either doing like I do, or you can just go back and, do it additionally. I think some of them I didn't fill out all the way. So I'm going to just do it manually. Here we go. A couple of them are incomplete, so this one is overdone, so I'm going to delete them. Okay.
Can you go over one more example of how to like hyperlink something, like the different tabs together?
Hyperlink?
Yeah, like how to hyperlink the January, February, March like tabs together.
That's not hyperlink. You call it grouping. So you're gonna group them.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna group January to June. So I'm gonna click January. So on your PC keyboard, you're gonna press Shift and hold it. Then you're gonna click the last worksheets, which is June. So those 6 are highlighted just like that.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. Then if you want to ungroup, then you're going to click outside of this grouping or right click on the tab, then ungroup sheets, right? Somehow I think I still have some of those leftovers. Yeah. So you can just go back and you can clean up. I thought I did it, but just didn't complete it. I think that's what happened during the grouping, so it didn't actually complete all the way. All right, so here we go. So they are good. So that's the step for 3 and 4, I believe. 3, 4, 5, I believe. Yeah, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I didn't do step 3, right? Which is hyperlink. That's from the, is that right? Let's go back. 3 January. Yeah, the step of, here, this column C. So column C contains hyperlink, like a web address. So right now it's not clickable. So step asks you to activate the link by just double click inside of the cell, just press enter, then the link is clickable, right? But I didn't do that step because you need to do it manually one by one. You cannot do it at once. So I just didn't do it, but you got to do it that step first, okay? So you're going to do it January to June, one by one. So you go to February, do the same thing, make it activated. So that was the step 3 that I didn't do, but we just did it 4 and 5. What was that?
That was the step I was asking about.
Oh, okay. So that was the step for activating hyperlink, okay? So step 3 was that, 4 was engagement, 5 was rate, which is taking engagement divided by total number of followers, okay? And step 6, then we're going to go back to matrix worksheets. Then we're going to consolidate those worksheets from January to June into this main worksheets, okay? So for January, column C, we're going to use the count, actually C5. D5, we're going to use the sum. D6, we're going to use the average. Okay, so C5. Count of column B, right? So here we go. Equals count of column B in January worksheets. So I'm going to click January, then I'm going to click, rather than just highlight 5 through 10, I'm going to just click entire column B, okay? So that it read only those appear in this, even though it's not count A function, I think it's going to read only the number. So that's why you can do it, okay? So when you use the count will read the cell containing numbers. So that's why you can do this, okay? So you don't have to do like B5 to B10, okay? So how many of them? 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So hopefully, here we go, 6, right? So that was count function. And D5, so we're going to find the total number of retweet in January using sum function. So we're going to use the sum, go back to January. Oops. January, then that will be column D, right? So I'm going to just click D at the top rather than highlighting D5 to D10, right? 57. Then next thing right below D5, we have D6. And we're going to use the average in January for retweets. 9.5. I'm going to show you the formula view. So it looks like this. So the format in terms of sales format is a little different, right? Because that's how I made it kind of customized. But the main thing is just formula, right? You're going to use count, you're going to use the sum, you're going to use the average for January. That's for column B, that's for column D. What about rest of worksheets? We have likes, mentions, clicks, reach. That's column E through G, right? Actually H, is that right? H. So we can just autofill. So I'm going to highlight those two. Autofill up to H. And that's what happened, right? Because January is same, only difference is column reference. D becomes E, F, G, H. Okay. I, we're going to use the average in I5 of column J. So column J is right here. Same thing. Highlight entire J and gave us 0.35%. So we completed January. And that's good. We can autofill, right? Rest of the columns. But the bad news is we cannot autofill the January to June. We cannot do it. If you do it, actually there's one thing is just different format. Second thing is January cannot change it to February, March, April. Okay. You can only change the numbers. You cannot change the worksheet's name automatically. So you're going to do it, one by one again. So I'm going to do it count. Again, this time February, right? February of column B. And sum of column D in February. Average of column D again Then we can autofill from this, like that, right? Because you're using same February worksheets, okay? And rate, again, we're going to have to use average. Average of column J and there's the formula view, right? So hopefully you can get it, once you've done a couple of times. But again, you need to fill all the way to June. So either you can just doing just like I do, or maybe you can copy, I think almost same thing, either one way or another in terms of, time will spend. But let me try it like this one. So I can change it to March instead of just doing all over. And this thing become April. And May. And June. Right? And now I'll just do the sun. March, right? Average. March, D. And I'm going to autofill. And average column J in March. So you keep doing this. Maybe let me try this way, see what happens. And I'm going to change it to April. I don't know which way is better, but I think this is slower. Try to. All right. Oops. Okay, now May, right? May, okay. Then again, I'll just change April to May. And June. June. There you go. And the last one to make it June. And here's the formula view. Hopefully I didn't make any mistakes. And the chart are already created, so it will reflect whatever we have it here. So you don't have to worry about the charts. Then the last row, which is the total. to C19, you're going to use the count function. So instead of just some existing column in column C, they want you to just consolidate from January to June directly. Okay, so don't just add them up. So you have to use the count function. Count. Then you're going to group January to June. January to June like that. Then you're going to click column B at the top so that it's going to count number of items in column B, that 47. Eventually it's going to same thing as using the sum, but we need to follow the step. And same thing to D19 using sum function, January to June. Then you're going to apply column D. And we're going to use average this time. Group January to June, apply column D so that you get all the total numbers. Then we can autofill to rest of the columns. And the rate, I think we're going to have to group them again, I believe. Just I-19. Okay. Average. Group them and select J at the top. And change the answers. Okay. Now, E5 element, I think you can do it in 9 and 10 easily, right? Okay, so that's the main thing in this exercise. And again, main thing is just how to group them, right? Group them. And you can ungroup them. If it's like 5, 6, that's not a big deal. You can probably do it manually, even though taking time. But if you have like 20, 30 worksheets, it's almost impossible, do it quicker. So you need to group them for that kind of problem. So that's the review assignment. Any questions?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
On column I in metrics worksheet, do you mind showing me that again? Because I didn't get that percent, but I did get all the numbers correct, except for that percent.
Right, column I.
Yes.
Right here. So individual month, you're going to use column J in each month, but at the bottom, you're going to have to group them. January to June, then apply column J.
Okay.
So because of punctuations, right, you have syntax require this exclamation, on the punctuations. That's why I'm going back and forth with my keyboard and all that, rather than trying to memorize the syntax, right? So Any other questions? Okay, any question about other problems or anything appear in module 5? Okay, we have only actually 2.5 weeks. Right? Yeah, 2.5 weeks. So make sure just get things done, the assignments, and don't forget to schedule the proctor you. And also, if you have any questions, problem, just let me know. Okay.
How was the grading on the previous test coming?
What was that?
The grades on the previous test.
It's already posted.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
See, I don't see it.
Let me double check. Grading is done. If you don't see it, you can go to quizzes, right?
Yeah, it's there. It's there. I thought the notification would come through. Okay.
Yeah.
I see it.
Okay. Let me know if you have any questions about the test or anything else.
I assume just like the first test, you'll give us like a preview of what's coming of a sample test for the Proctor 2
Right,
test.
of course. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. So I'm going
Most
to
likely.
post. Yeah, I'm going to post the materials, and we're going to go over next week. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
I'm going right back in. Just give me one moment. Sorry.
Okay.
I can't pull it open, but it was like the second to last question on the proctored 1 test that I could not figure out when I was in it, and I just skipped over it. It won't let me open it.
Okay. Let's take a look. Okay, hold on just a second. Okay, so can you tell me what step you think it is?
It was, I think either second or third from last.
Are you talking about running total or cumulative total?
It most definitely was running total, because when I click it on my screen, usually there's like an option with like a lightning bolt to do it, and it doesn't let me, well, it didn't let me do that during the time into the next cell over.
Okay, so you're talking about running total. Okay.
Yes.
Well, running total, let me show you. just grab whatever is available. Give me 1 second. All right, let me share it again. All right, I'm just using this, the one we just using. So anytime you want to do running total, so I'm going to use the column H, for example. Let's say I want to just, I want to find the running total or cumulative total for column H. I'm going to highlight them. Then you're going to have a quick analysis. If you don't, then there's always doing manually, right? So I'm going to just move these guys over a little bit. And all you do is just sum of itself, H5 to H5, and make it first term absolute cell reference. Then you're going to just autofill all the way down. And which would be just like that, just like this. I think it look a little bit funny, but so I know you can have quick analysis, but the main thing is you need to understand the formula, formula of the running total, which is just using absolute cell reference.
Just a question on it. The tool, the quick analysis tool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Without using the absolute reference, which is the manual where you type in the formula and then you do the fill. And you highlight that with the quick analysis, but it don't fall on the same column. Like if you want that column where you want the total to be, for some reason it falls like outside of the Excel sheet. But that's the quick analysis tool when you try it. It's really quick analysis.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's not that flexible because it's limited in terms of where you're going to put it, like total.
Correct. Yeah, we
You can put it at the bottom.
Yeah.
Or you can put it into right side. Or here at the bottom and right side. Only two options. Maybe do we have a left? No left. So only two options. So your option is kind of limited where you're going to put it. Then you want to put it kind of long distance. Then you need to know the formula.
The formula, right?
Yeah, just like that. Yeah. So the main thing is you need to know the formula. Not the quick analysis.
I know.
Convenience,
but it helps
right?
To test check that your formula is right, though. So it's good to know the formula, but it test check that the formula is accurate.
Right.
When you type it in, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Hopefully that answered your question, but
yeah, it did. I was definitely doing it wrong because instead of doing it like all referenced back to H5, I was doing it to the cell that was like above it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so any other questions?
Just we appreciate, you guiding us through these things which are new. Somebody who's not doing it, it will present a challenge if you're not using Excel regularly.
Right. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You're right. Mm-hmm. All right, I guess That's my thing. I guess that's it then. Okay, so again, next week we're going to go over for review for the next tests. Okay, so see you next time. Okay,
All right. Good night.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.